Hi. I didn't expect that. I went into the event, and the phone's like, "You're going live now." It just automatically connected me. That's kind of sketch. I was trying to get something to set my phone on real quick. This is a sweet view though. It's just real wobbly. Hold on. Let me grab something real quick. Right. That should work pretty well. All right, a little high. I want to change screens. All right, cool. What is up, everybody? Okay, so let me see. I need a secondary device. What is this? Open, opt-in, chance to get. The heck is that? Hello, everybody. How's it going? It's my first time really kind of doing it this way in a while. So all messages are visible. That's what I want. All right. From Florida. Stay safe over there, Florida. Hello, Tortellini. Optimus, please keep your hands on my Tesla steering wheel while I sleep. Okay, so I wanted to do this live stream. This will probably only be about a half hour or something. I'm on my lunch. I work full time, for anyone that doesn't know, and I'm I'm finding it increasingly difficult to find time to put into the channel and everything. Doesn't mean I'm going anywhere, and I love doing this. I'm not gonna stop, but just you might see me kind of missing here and there. So a couple of the videos I really want to do is my 1-year review for the Model Y, which I've had it well over a year now, but I want to do that video. And then I want to do our 6-month Model X review, which now we're over 6 months. But I want to do those. I think they're really important. And then, of course, still do drives and everything. And we're going to talk about AI Day and stuff here in this one, but I wanted to just give you some channel updates. That's sweet with the American flag in the background. This is such a good spot. I literally just came to McDonald's to connect to their Wi-Fi and make sure I would have good internet, because AT&T is pretty spotty, but this should be good. And then the other thing I just wanted to share and let everybody know, at our house, we're getting our basement finished. It starts next week, and that's where I do. Hello from Denmark. That's cool. That's where I do all my work. I had everything set up in the basement, my computer and all that, where you've seen the live streams before, but now we kind of had to move everything so that they can do the work. So my workspace has shrunk to this tiny little corner. I posted a picture on Twitter. UK. Hello, UK. And Finland, what up? Read the sand battery story. And so, yeah, it's going to be kind of hard for me to work on that stuff. That's where I like do sit down videos, which I know I haven't done in a while anyway, but I have some of those planned. So I just wanted to kind of update people on that stuff. I really want to communicate these things to people, but in a YouTube video, like, my car's driving or whatever, people don't want to hear anything else. They just want whatever the content of the video is, like, shut up and get to that. And I'm all about that. I agree. So I try to do that. And I feel the live streams, Germany, Sweden, this is cool. I feel live streams, I can just kind of chat and talk to you guys. Canada, Dax, hello. Canada, that's only like a half hour away from me. That's not as exciting. I always terrorize you and Taylor of EV streams when I can. Can't wait for my Model 3. Congrats, Mike, on your Model 3 order. France, Dutch. Wow, this is cool, dude. People from all over the world. This is another benefit of me doing it at this time. Normally my live streams are late at night because I work all day, and then I get home and try to take care of the kids for like a little bit, and then they go to bed, and then wife goes to bed, and then I come in the basement and I can, do my live stream at, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern or 8:30 or whatever. Now it's 12 p.m. Eastern, 12:15. I'm in Michigan. So Texas, Canada. Wow, this is sweet. All right, so let's talk about AI Day a little bit. So I got invited. I don't know how. I think, let me see. I'm trying to make this camera a little better. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks fine. I need to be lower. Okay. I got invited to AI Day. I don't know how I got invited, but I did. And I'm really, really excited to go. So it's in California, and it was, you get the invites pretty last minute. We got the invite, I think, Monday night or Sunday night. And, talked to my wife Stephanie. It's like, are we gonna go? Like, I should really go. That'd be cool if you could go. So we are able to make it. It's a 6-hour event. What the heck? So doors open at 5, and Tesla tends to open the doors a little early to does your Model Y have auto close on lock for Windows? Yes, it does. The events tend to open the doors a little early for people to kind of congregate and hang out, and then the talking will start later. So my guess, we don't know yet. Well, maybe there's a schedule out there, but all I know is the event is from 5 p.m. California time to 11 p.m. That's 6 hours. That's a long time. I don't know what we'll be doing. We did sign some type of waiver that was like, probably just your standard, liability thing, but it said something about getting rides in cars, and they're not responsible if some safety thing happens, the normal stuff. But I guess that's not normally. I didn't sign anything like that when I went to Gigafactory Texas, and this is only my second Tesla event I've actually attended in person, and people are saying past events didn't have a signature thingy like that. So I don't know if we're going to get a ride in some type of robotaxi, or maybe they have a hardware 4 vehicle they're going to let people try, like get a ride in or whatever with a safety driver. I can't imagine there's going to be any actually driverless cars. Hope I'm wrong, but I just really don't think so. And then Tesla Bot, of course, I think is the main thing that they're going to announce. But like, who knows? People have all these like crazy things they want it to do. Like, oh, it's gonna come out on stage and give the presentation, and boil and like cook an egg on the stove, or do all these crazy things. I really don't know what to expect. I wouldn't expect it to be all that capable. One thing I've kind of learned over following tech all these years, like you see it in phones, you see it in cars, you see it with a lot of stuff. When a company comes out with, like, let's take fingerprint sensors on phones, for example. We'd probably see the robot walking. When it's not like one company comes out with a fingerprint sensor on their phone, and then all the other companies are like, this tech is unbelievable. And then 5 years later, other companies, can finally unleash that tech. You kind of see all the different companies, for the most part, coming out with similar technologies, all within a small window of time. So unless Tesla is doing something real crazy in the background, it's not like we're going to have a fully, autonomous robot walking out on stage and be like, hello, everybody, I'm coming to wash your dishes and do your laundry. Of course, I think that's the ultimate goal, but yeah. So for the 6 hours, doors open at 5. I would guess the talking portion with Elon, and then the team, the AI or autopilot or whatever team, is probably going to be somewhere around 8 p.m. California time. And then there'll be an after, I don't know, hangout food. They said there's food and drinks there. So, an after kind of hangout, talk, whatever. I don't know how big the event is. It's not like Texas where it's like thousands and thousands of people. Although more like me, social media type people are getting invited. Then AI Day, the first one was no like people like me, from what I understand. It was just like more a recruiting event, which I think this one is still a recruiting event. But now you're having some social media people, show up for, I don't know why, because then one part of what they said is there's no, I think they said that certain parts there's no photography or something, and it's like, why would you invite somebody like me, and then you're not going to have us, like no photography? It's kind of interesting. Soul, wow, that's cool. Hello. Will Elon claim full self-driving will be as good as a human by the end of the year? You're asking if he'll claim that? Yeah, he'd probably say something like that. So yeah, I'm part of marketing, but it's interesting to invite someone like me, but then like there's certain things I can't share, because I'm like, that's my whole thing. I share things. Like I have a YouTube channel and talk to people and show them things. So, there will be some stuff to share, of course, but then to show us stuff we can't, I don't know. We'll see. And I don't know, their Cybertruck is on the invite. I shared a picture on YouTube and on Twitter of the picture on the invite. It's like the Cybertruck in a futuristic looking city. There's a bunch of Easter eggs everywhere. It has Tesla bots, kind of all, it look like more Tesla bots than humans in the picture. Kind of just, they look like they're walking around casually, so it's pretty interesting. Love your unbiased, slightly optimistic video about full self-driving. What would you say to all the non-believers, fearmongers about full self-driving or AI in general? Thank you. I appreciate that. I am a very optimistic person, but I try to remain realistic and as unbiased as possible. So the haters and the doubters, I think that's legitimate, like, to doubt it, because it's such a huge problem. So, full self-driving, Google's been working on it, over 10 years now, and Waymo's very impressive, in my opinion. Like, it is geofenced, but like, even if they have it geofenced and you can pay for it and you can use it, it's a product you can use. Yeah, they can't drive, from New York to LA, but who cares? Like, if you're in a city, if you could get that in the top 10 cities, that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of autonomous miles, and that's a lot of lives saved. Now, normally, like inner city crashes are, you know, more slow. The deadly crashes are more on the highway and things, but still, that's a lot less damage to property, a lot less injuries, a lot less clogging up the roads if you can, you know, reduce those incidents because you have autonomous vehicles in the top 10 cities. So I think that's still huge. But it's worth doubting, especially when, you know, you have Elon every year saying like, oh yeah, full self-driving by the end of the year. Yep. And he's been doing that, what, for 4 years now or something. Now, I will say this year he seems a lot more realistic. I think the goal is like wide release of beta by the end of the year. And he also said safer than a human by the end of the year or something. So, how's your blow up doll? It's deflated in the garage waiting for the next incident. I actually think it has a hole in it. So, the audio's not good. Apologies. I'm just on my phone. I'm just trying this out. If I continue this, I'll try to get a mic for my phone maybe. I don't know if they even make them for USB-C phones now, but I'll see what I can do. Do I follow Starship? I do, but I'm not just like, I think it's cool. I don't know anything about it. I wouldn't be able to answer questions. Cybertruck is going to have hardware 4 and it's going to be driving you guys for sure. So yeah, that's a big speculation, is that along with Tesla Bot, because this is AI day and Elon has kind of said, you know, to solve autonomy, they've basically figured out they've just basically figured out they basically have to figure out general AI to get the autonomy to work. Another big rumor people are talking about is AI Day is going to have hardware 4, which will include newer cameras, higher resolution, and popping. I can probably talk a little quieter if it's popping. Higher resolution cameras for sure. A new chip, of course. We have hardware 3 is the computer chip from, you know, 4 years ago or whatever. And now you'll have a, you know, better, smaller nanometer, hopefully like 7 or even 4 nanometer chip for the computer. And then it seems like we're also going to get high definition radar. So that's kind of a big sticking point a lot of people had, was like, oh, Elon got rid of the radar and he said the autopilot team doesn't even want it and blah, blah, blah. He had said before, I think even before they got rid of the radar, he said that high definition radar is maybe something that could be used. It could be important along with the cameras. So that's not like he changed his mind, but at the same time, I always like to say this problem is not solved, right? So nobody knows what it's going to take to solve autonomous driving, even if you want to talk about level 4, because even Waymo that has driverless, you know, geofenced whatever, they're still monitoring the cars. They don't have and I think it'll always be like that, but it's not like they send a robotaxi out and nobody knows where it is or what's going on. It just drives itself around. It's constantly sending pings back to the mothership and saying, oh, I'm here, I'm okay, I need help. They come out and help it sometimes. I mean, it's not that uncommon for the team to come rescue a Waymo. And even with Cruise, I've seen these pictures of a, you know, Cruise I think in San Francisco, which is with GM. And so the robotaxi would go to pick someone up and it would hit a cellular dead spot. So it would not have a connection to the internet. And it would basically just, you know, safely pull over, put its hazard lights on, or maybe just stop in the lane where it was. And then what happens with their software, this is so funny, it automatically summons another Cruise to finish the job, right? Because it's like, oh, I can't do what I'm doing. And so let's send another Cruise. And so then you have these intersections or wherever it's happening where you have 4 or 5 of these Cruise driverless cars just in a pile because they keep going to the same dead spot and getting stuck. So my point of saying all this is that because it's not finished, nobody knows what it's going to take. So if Elon and Tesla and the autopilot team, you know, switch 100% to cameras, and then they spend a year doing that, and they go, oh, it's not enough data, or the resolution's not high enough on the cameras, or wow, maybe we need radar. Who cares if, I mean, you know, maybe it could be a little embarrassing something, but who cares if they go, what? Let's put a radar back. I think it's going to be better. Like that's what they're doing. They're just trying to make it work. Who cares if they have to add whatever they have to add to make it work? So that's my point of saying all that. So yes, higher resolution cameras, new hardware, new computer chip, and HD radar is the assumption. Now, sorry, I'm trying to read your comments, but on my phone it's not that good. I should bring a laptop or something. The thing that a lot of people want that I don't know if we'll see is camera positioning. So a lot of people believe that you need some cameras in the headlights. And I agree that it would be hugely beneficial. No, radar actually doesn't work in snow like at all. It works fine in rain. And it works great in fog, but snow, even the tiniest, thinnest layer of snow will, maybe this HD radar, I don't know, but they'd have to add a heater in front of it to fix that. Is camera positioning. So a lot of people think, and I agree, headlight cameras would be a huge help because the forward facing cameras are here. Like this is besides the cameras, you know, in the, oops, I turned my hazard lights on. Besides the cameras in the rear view mirror that are only facing forward, the farthest forward side facing cameras are all the way back here at the B pillar, like the middle of the car. So a lot of people think even A pillar, maybe in the headlights or on the A pillar or in the headlights, or I mean the side mirrors, side mirrors or A pillar, or in the headlights having side facing cameras there. So then you just have to creep out a little bit and you can see so much more. It sounds obvious to me. Tesla knows more than I do, so I'm not going to say that they're stupid if they don't do it. But could hardware 4 have new computer position or new camera positioning? What does that mean for all the AI training that's been done with the current hardware setup? I don't have answers for those things, but I think some of it will be addressed at AI Day. One more thing I want to say, don't do it in the comments here because I'll never see it. But if you have a question you want me to try to ask at AI Day, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I don't know if there will be a question time. I think there will. And honestly, I'll probably be a little nervous to to ask anything because I'll feel stupid. But if you have a good question you potentially want me to ask or try to ask, email it to me or go to the community tab on my YouTube page and comment, I asked for questions. Comment somewhere there, I'll see it there. Or email me dirtyteslayt@gmail.com and give me the question. If it's a yes or no question or like a question they can answer with one word, I'm probably not going to do that. But yeah, all right, let me get some of these chats here. Quantum computers will be made in the future and they glow. That sounds good. It would be expensive to replace the headlights if you put the cameras there. Yeah, that's a good point, but if the car's autonomous, it might be worth it. In the short term, that camera position would also enable cross-traffic detection. Yep. Cameras are positioned very well. Only problem is rain and dirt. Yeah, so that's kind of one of my things is why they wouldn't do headlight cameras is that area gets really dirty. So like where my cameras are now, even though I drive, you know, I have my dirty car, I drive on dirt roads constantly, my cameras pretty much never get dirty. I don't know what they did with the repeater cameras in the front, but they're even better than on the Model 3. I don't know if just because they're that a little bit higher, but the Model 3 would sometimes, like if it was raining, those would get covered in water. They'd have little water droplets on them, and sometimes they would get dirt on them, but not that often. The Model Y, I like almost never need to clean those up. And when it's raining, they're clear as day. There's never water on them. I don't know what they did, but it's a lot better than what it was. Elon Musk says he's not using radar or LiDAR, they're just using neural netting cameras. He has said in the past that maybe HD radar would play a part. But normal radar, no. There was a good graphic about the difference between the old style radar and HD radar, and it does give you way more data. Way more data. The end user 5 years down the line won't care how the tech works. I totally agree, and it will get cheap. Look at what has happened with the smartphone industry. Yep, I totally agree with that. It doesn't matter how they solve it. It's just that they got to solve it. And, you know, in the short term, there might be some trip ups and things where we got to go back on our word and add something we didn't think we did or need more cameras or whatever. But quantum computers are useless currently. I don't know why you guys are talking about that. I think they'll appear one day. I don't believe camera position will change. It seems like too much work internally. They already cropped the images of existing cameras to ensure the image matches across all cars. No radar. So have y'all heard the quantum? Oh, okay. They probably need more cameras too. Radar. Cybertruck will be production design. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's AI day, so I'm not sure. I guess they could give, you know, they always do, not always, but they often, Elon often talks about other things, you know, like, oh, one more thing kind of deal. So to have like a production ready Cybertruck would be great. Will they fix maps too? That's a really big, issue. You know, some of these things, again, I'm not a software engineer. So I'm not trying to sound like a jerk, but some of these things just seem so basic that I'm kind of, I just have to assume they don't care at this point, and they'll fix it whenever they get to it. So something like maps, I mean, if you use beta, you've seen, or even just normal navigate on autopilot, you can tell on some highways, it just like can't find the exit. And it's rare for me for highways, but I hear about it a lot. The map like doesn't know there's a stop sign there, and don't get me wrong, it'll still stop, but it's a much harder stop when it doesn't know there's a stop sign because it sees it a little later and then it kind of brakes really hard and you're like, oh, like I wish you would have begun slowing sooner than that. And then yeah, so I feel like maps would be something that they could update using different resources fairly easily to make the experience so much better. Excuse me, because they will always use maps, not HD maps, but they will always use maps. And then there's all these little basic things. So like no turn on red signs is something I talk about. Like the first of all, map data could fix that, but the car can read the speed limit signs. So you think, especially going slow up to a red light, it would have plenty of time and resolution to be able to see a no turn on red sign, but it's just not something that the car seems to do. Now, I have had it do it on this version, but just, as an example. So those little simple things, I just kind of feel like they want to get the basics of driving down, like don't crash. That's always goal number one, no crashing no matter what. And then good acceleration, good braking, good turning radius, avoiding curbs, and then they'll work on kind of those other things that are still important for driving, but not, objective number one of driving, which is drive reasonably and don't crash. I drive by the Fremont factory every day in my commute, and the maps are terrible. Yeah, and those guys are driving there too, so it's so strange. Oh, Argentina, hello. We used to have a merge on the highway 2 years ago, but it still highlights cars and slows down. Yes, I have a spot similar to that where they changed the road, by me years ago on my way home, and it will slow because it thinks people are merging on, but they're not, and there's no reason to slow there. So do you think and it highlights all the cars as if they're merging, but they're not. Do you think Optimus Bot will become a robot made for your house in the next decade? In the next decade, yes. Maybe I'm too optimistic, but I definitely think that's possible. 10 years is I turned off my Wi-Fi. I think McDonald's probably kicked me off or something. Maybe I used too much. So hopefully the speed will still be enough. So yeah, within a decade being a maid, give me some chat so I know I'm live. It says I'm live. Yes, for sure. Now, when you look at phones, they've kind of stagnated for a bit. So it's a little harder, I think, to really look at a phone and be like, oh, this is so impressive compared to 5 years ago, because yeah, they're better, but come on, they're not that much better. But a decade of tech innovation for something like a robot, I really think, yeah, I think we could have, yeah. And it's hard, because I'm trying to compare it even like a Roomba, right? A little Roomba. Those are, if you look at the first Roomba compared to now, they're so much more capable and they do so many more cool things. But if you look at one from 5 years ago, it's but you had all that innovation up front, and then you kind of get these iterations of improvement. All right, I'm not seeing any chat from you guys. Oh, let's see, live chat. There we go. All right, I'm seeing it now. That was my fault. You're good, you're live. Awesome, thank you. Just Duplo res. Sorry, my hair's messy. Uh-oh. My guess is with the highway merge situation. Hey, Chris, safe travels to Cali. Hope no delays due to Florida storm. Yeah, Rob, thank you. I don't think that should affect anything. Some of that might get up to us, but not for a few more days. Some of the teaser images for the Optimus robot are really interesting with all the different joints. The hands look impressive. So when you look at what was it, Huawei just a couple months ago unveiled their, that was pathetic. They unveiled their robot and it comes out on stage, it can barely move. And its hand was like this, no fingers, just a big piece here and a little piece here, and that's all it could do. And the the interaction seemed very scripted, which, don't get me wrong, maybe Tesla's will be as well. But even the scripted kind of interaction of human and robot was just really lame. It was come on. And have you guys seen the Amazon security robot thing? I actually did apply for that, but only because I would make a video about it or 2 or 3. What are you going to do with that? Maybe my house is too small, and if you have a mansion, it would be cool, but it just seems there's no point. Why would I spend $1,000 on it? It's crazy. Do you have the issue the car wants to get into the left lane on a 4-lane highway saying it's getting out of the rightmost lane? I actually don't think I've ever seen that message in my car, getting out of the rightmost lane. Maybe I've seen it once, but yeah, I've seen other people have that. I'm not sure why that's happening. Again, I think it's probably related to map data. Let me get to the bottom here. Let's see. Do you think nearby Teslas will start sharing information wirelessly to improve visibility beyond what onboard camera can show? I think that's a lot of bandwidth, and Tesla's goal is that this car can drive itself, at least for the most part, without an internet connection. So that could be a good enhancement, but I don't think it's something Tesla's going to do. They seem to want to keep everything super simple, compared to especially when you compare the cars sometimes to luxury brands. If you look at even some cars that are we were looking at this minivan, and it was like 40 grand or something, which, like, don't get me wrong, it's still a lot of money, but compared to a Tesla, it's cheaper, and it had so many more like bells and whistles. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that I want that, but you can just see like where Legacy does all these little things, and sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I had that kind of feature in my car. But Tesla like just brushes all that stuff off and tries to keep things simple. That happens when a tree. So you're talking about the stop sign. So Mr. Nelson is saying the car will do a hard stop if a tree is blocking the stop sign. I have a dirt road where the stop sign's not mapped, and my car comes up. It turns into a dirt road. It'll be coming up at like 50 miles an hour, and it'll wait. I mean, it'll hit the brakes hard. I've showed it in at least one video, I think 2 videos, because it's not mapped, so it doesn't know it's there. And by the time it sees it, you have to stop really hard. So, but it's not obstructed by a tree or anything. Full self-driving detecting brake and turn signals seem to suggest that reacting to those things should be coming soon. Do you agree? I would hope so. The turn signals are kind of hit or miss. They're good enough, I think. But what's funny is you'll actually see it if a car is changing lanes and doesn't have its turn signal on. The Tesla will put a turn signal on it. So it'll display as if the turn signal is blinking while they change lanes, even though it's not. So I find that kind of interesting. But yeah, for now, it doesn't seem that it's reacting to those things. It's just displaying them kind of for our pleasure. For braking, I don't think it really needs the brake lights so much. The car actually seems, even at highway speeds, very good at detecting changes in speed. And often it will suggest lane. I mean, this happens daily for me. It will suggest a lane change into the faster lane. I have to confirm it. And I'm like, come on, you're being too sensitive. And then like a few seconds later, I'm like, oh man, I should have done it, because they begin slowing so much. And it's like, that's like one of the superhuman things of the car. It's very good at detecting those changes in speed. Will you sleep there at AI day and come back the next day? So we're going to fly out Friday, very early morning, and then we're going to leave Sunday. So yeah, we'll be there for we're going to have a day to check out California. My wife has actually never been, she doesn't think she's been west of Michigan even. So I was actually born in California. I was only, we moved away when I was like 1, so I don't remember it. And I've been there a few times, but yeah, she's never been anywhere near there. So that'll be cool for her. No +1. She's not coming to AI Day. AI Day does not, you cannot bring a +1 to this one. So yeah, she's going to hang out while I go there. Charlie Doyle, Amazon now has an improved robot picker with a 2-finger pinching hand that is getting close to replacing human pickers in their warehouses. Ooh, that's cool and scary. I understand the sorry, I'm American, I don't know all the flags. Ask when full self-driving comes to, I think that's Norway. Don't kill me. Yeah, that's scary because, of the jobs aspect, but you're not going to stop technological progress to save people's jobs. I always do people, there used to be a knocker-upper, I think it was called. That doesn't sound right. Where they, I think that's what it was called. In England, they would come to your window and knock on your window to wake you up for work. That was a job because they didn't have alarm clocks, and then the alarm clock was invented, and then that job doesn't exist anymore. So you want them to not invent alarm clocks to save that job? Maybe that's not what it was called. I don't know. That's what I remember. Amazon Roomba is very interested in mapping inside homes. Yeah, they sure are. Yeah, Amazon is buying Roomba now. I hate to say I love those little robots. I buy them. I bought a refurbished i7. I think it's normally 800 or 700. I got it for 200. It's still a bit expensive, but man, it is good. It is awesome. It cleans the floor so well. Love that thing. I will be surprised if Tesla robot can do much. If it can stand on its own without stiff joints, that would be huge, and I don't expect that. I'm guessing just a body without software, maybe Sims. Yeah, Dan, I'm trying to keep my expectations realistic here. I think it'll be able to walk. I do think we'll see a walking demo. I don't think it'll look very natural. I saw a lot of people after the Huawei robot was unveiled, they're like, Tesla, please don't let it walk like it's constipated. Sorry, I think that's what it's going to look like. Whenever I say these things, I want to be wrong. I want it to be better than I think. I'm just trying to be realistic. I've been testing. It seems to do it when a left turn lane. Oh, you're talking about the getting out of right lane. It seems to do it when a left turn lane is present. The car sees 3 lanes and wants to get in the middle of the 3. Yeah, I don't have that problem. Epic Amrude. Recently, beta just ignores my route and still attempts to take paths that it has rerouted from minutes ago. I've seen that as well. Also finding that beta just isn't available due to system error. I don't have that one. That's weird. I've seen it before, but it's very rare. How much time will you spend in Palo Alto Bay Area? I have no idea. I really don't know what we're going to do. Because the event starts at 5, that's actually a lot earlier than I thought. I didn't think doors would open that soon, so I'm not going to have a whole lot of time on Friday. Meanwhile, in the UK, we just got Tesla Vision a week or so back. It's huge improvement over the radar build. That's awesome, Curtis. I'm glad to hear that. I'll take that as a win until we get beta. I agree. I actually thought Vision was very good. I saw a lot of complaints, but I thought it was very good for me. Why won't the car remember where the stop signs are at? Yeah, right? Especially when I've been clicking the report button at that stop sign for 2 years. You'd think it would be added to the data. I don't know. So the car doesn't have any kind of memory. It basically, every time it drives, it's like it's the first time it's ever been there. And those updates need to come in the form of a downloadable map update or a downloadable software update. And I don't know why. I have 2 stop signs. I've been reporting basically since I had beta in November of 2020 that still doesn't know the stop signs are there. Which, again, it's so basic. I don't know why they wouldn't add those things. It's just, I gotta imagine they don't care. That's all I can think. Just subscribe to FSD and hopefully get into beta next update. Standard release stop light recognition is not great so far. Beta is way, way better than all that. So yeah, it's not even, don't even compare it. There's no point in even comparing those. Auto high beams need urgent improvement. I'm not gonna lie, I really want to ask about that at AI Day. It seems so trivial, and I feel like it would kind of be a waste of time and maybe even get an eye roll or something, or like a blown off answer. But I do find it really important because the car is so good at detecting other vehicles and things, but the auto high beams just don't work very well. I pretty much always turn them off, and I'm like, we got to get this down. Like, come on, it's one of the basics. But from what I've heard from a friend who used to he used to sell used cars, he said that that's actually pretty common in his experience with the other luxury brands, is that the auto high beams are just not very good. Don't kill me for that. I don't know. I don't have the experience personally, but he took a ride with me in my Tesla, and I was like, yeah, the auto high beams aren't very good. And he's like, oh yeah, this is acting the same as all the other cars I've kind of sold. So my Model 3 is running stop signs since last update. That's not good. Hi Chris, when do you think they'll fix the random linkers? It seems way better on 10.69 for me. Zup boys, what's up Simon? Zup. Tesla has over 3 million cars out of the 3 million. At these almost 2 million cars only have and cameras, and that's all. Oh, a neural net and cameras. Yep. England should allow beta ASAP. It's not very good at roundabouts, so please ask how AI, how Optimus Robotaxi will self-charge. Oh, that's Optimus the robot. I was born in Yolo County, California. All right, I gotta wrap this up soon. I gotta get back to my real job. Tesla Mojo Alt, what up? Are you excited to basically go to birthplace of Silicon Valley? Yeah. So the building it's in is like the original HP headquarters. Yes, Tesla Mojo. That'll be pretty cool. I don't know much about the history of Silicon Valley, but it'll be very cool. Oh my gosh, the moderator of Tesla Motor subreddit. I'm honored. I know we talk on Twitter, but it's so cool that you run such a gigantic subreddit with very angry people. What sort of enhancements are you expecting out of AI Day regarding the progress of what is needed next for FSD? I know that's like a big question I have, is like, I feel like, I don't know, they're going to share whatever they want, but I really wish we could get some kind of like monthly update of like, or even quarterly update of like, here's what we've learned the past quarter. Because you know this is happening in their meetings. Here's what we've learned the past quarter from all the miles and all the interventions and data we have. And this is what we thought, 3 months ago, that these are the things we needed. Now with this new data, here's what we think, right? And kind of get that once a quarter to kind of see the progress, because I've been driving this beta over 2 years now, and don't get me wrong, it's so much better. I mean, my first video that I made, I think first and second video, the car couldn't even stay straight in the lane. It was ping-ponging the whole time, and I'm like, what the heck is this? You can't even stay in the lane, and you're supposed to be driving me around. Now it's just gotten so much phenomenally better. At the same time, it still makes some really basic mistakes, and they can happen pretty randomly. So I would love to know kind of the evolution of their thought process. I like the spot with the flag in the background. That looks so cool. This is where we can do our live streams. All right, I think I need to wrap it up. Thank you for joining, everybody. I got to go to work. You agree? Yes, shout out. Oh, James Ryan, hello. Thank you. Thank you to my members of the channel. I really appreciate that. I don't ask for that because, I think that's weird, but I appreciate it when you do it. All right, thank you, everybody. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Yeah, you can hit like if you want. I don't care. Get subscribed, though. We're almost at 100K. We're going to get that plaque. I'm sure everybody here is subscribed. If you like this, let me know. Comment it, and we can continue doing these like lunchtime chats. It'll only be 30 minutes, but I love talking to you guys. I really do. It's so fun. I learn a lot from all the comments you make and stuff. So, all right, thank you. I will talk to you around. If you need anything, DM me on Twitter or email me. dirtyteslayt@gmail.com. Bye-bye. Thank you for your time.